Starting January 1st, 2024, 5 nations officially became members of the BRICS coalition: Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, and Ethiopia. These countries had been scheduled to join the group during the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, held in August 2023. Argentina had initially been invited but withdrew in late December due to a change in leadership. This expansion marks a doubling of the BRICS group's membership since 2010, when it comprised Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The BRICS coalition has evolved into a significant platform for collaboration among emerging markets and developing nations. The recent increase in membership is intended to enhance the group's influence on the global stage. Notably, the BRICS group, now representing some of the most powerful countries in the global south, has garnered attention as it positions itself against the G7 nations. In this video, we will delve into the BRICS plus nations plan to move away from the US dollar and work towards creating a multipolar world. Before we proceed, make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on intriguing videos like this one. BRICS growth sparks shift away from dollar. The expanded BRICS, now including Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates, boasts a collective population exceeding 3.5 billion and an aggregate economy surpassing $28.5 trillion, constituting approximately 28% of the global economy. This expansion could potentially reshape the geopolitical landscape, although analysts remain divided on whether it will prove beneficial or detrimental to existing BRICS members. The inclusion of Saudi Arabia in particular has surprised many, considering its historically tense relations with the West. Speculation had circulated regarding the country's interest in joining BRICS, but doubts persisted about formalizing political and economic ties. Now, with the Middle Eastern trio becoming part of the group, a crucial step toward de-dollarization is evident. The significance lies in the potential shift away from the US dollar for transactions within all BRICS countries, signaling a possible end to the era of the petrodollar. Should the petroyuan replace it, this transition would mark a pivotal moment in the de-dollarization process. The addition of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran amplifies BRICS's dominance in the energy sector, particularly in crude oil. Currently constituting about 20% of global oil output, the expanded group would command nearly 42% of global crude oil production. Saudi Arabia, being the largest crude oil exporter, shipped around 7.3 million barrels per day in 2022, accounting for over 17% of global crude oil exports. Notably, 35% of these exports are directed to BRICS members, China and India. With BRICS aiming to reduce reliance on the US dollar, speculation arises about Saudi Arabia diversifying its currency acceptance for oil trade, potentially including the Chinese yuan and Indian rupee. The recent currency swap agreement between Saudi Arabia and China, amounting to a maximum of 50 billion yuan or 26 billion rials, signifies a notable step in this direction. While the Saudi rial is pegged to the US dollar, the agreement suggests a willingness to explore alternatives. While Saudi Arabia has not completely abandoned the petrodollar, recent actions indicate a potential openness to exploring alternative options. Given its significant role in the petrodollar framework, if Saudi Arabia were to initiate oil trading in yuan, it could trigger a chain reaction, leading other OPEC members to consider similar shifts. Additionally, in the case of Iran, facing sanctions, the shift towards non-dollar currencies for oil transactions is evident, with China reportedly paying for Iranian oil in yuan. Conversely, the United Arab Emirates has taken a more assertive stance. In a recent development aligning with Asia's de-dollarization drive, India and the UAE have mutually agreed to replace the dollar with the rupee for settling their bilateral trade. This strategic move is part of India's initiative to reduce transaction costs by eliminating the need for dollar conversions. The UAE's prioritization of its local currency over the US dollar in new oil agreements challenges the conventional dominance of the US dollar in global trade. Reports suggest that the UAE is exploring potential oil and gas deals with around 15 countries, including influential nations like China, Russia, and Egypt, which are members of the BRICS alliance and proponents of de-dollarization. BRICS expansion and global trade shift. The proposed expansion of BRICS holds the potential to moderately influence global trade dynamics. Currently, the core BRICS nations contribute to 23% of global exports and 19% of global imports. The new members, including Saudi Arabia as the leading exporter and the UAE as the top importer, are expected to add 3.7% and 3.0% respectively. This expansion would enhance BRICS's weight in global trade by approximately 16%. Examining international trade structures, the new members' inclusion reflects a growing connection with the original BRICS countries. Recent years have seen the core BRICS share in the new members' imports rise from 23% to 30%, surpassing the Euro area, USA, and other developed economies. The share of the new addition's exports also increased, albeit more modestly, from 25% to 28%. While the immediate impact on trade may seem limited, it's crucial to note BRICS's ongoing expansion plans. As Russia assumes the BRICS chairmanship in 2024, the bloc aims to attract more like-minded countries sharing its principles. The recent shift by 10 ASEAN countries to trade in native currencies instead of the US dollar aligns with BRICS's objectives, potentially paving the way for their inclusion. Looking ahead, the BRICS bloc anticipates welcoming additional members, with countries in Africa and the Middle East, such as Pakistan, Iraq, Turkey, Nigeria, and Egypt, as potential contenders. ASEAN members like Vietnam and Indonesia have expressed interest, strengthening ties between the two blocs. The addition of Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates solidifies BRICS as a major player in crude oil trade. Expectations are high for Southeast Asian nations like Indonesia and Vietnam to join BRICS, further enhancing the group's dominance in global trade. The 2024 BRICS Summit could potentially mark the initiation of a new expansion phase, emphasizing the bloc's openness to welcoming more countries. The end of the US dollar hegemony. During the 2023 BRICS Summit in South Africa, more than 40 countries signaled their interest in joining the group. These nations see BRICS as an alternative to global organizations perceived to be controlled by traditional Western powers, hoping that membership will bring advantages such as development finance, increased trade, and investment. Bolivia, for instance, is facing severe dollar shortages due in part to declining natural gas production, is determined to reduce reliance on the US dollar in foreign trade, opting instead for the Chinese yuan. The country's net foreign currency reserves have dwindled from $15 billion in 2014 to around $4 billion, pressuring state finances and challenging Bolivia's long-standing currency peg to the dollar. For smaller countries like Bolivia and many others in the global south, the use of US dollars in trade is a necessity, given the dollar's widespread status as the primary global reserve currency. Conversely, the United States wields significant global influence because the US dollar serves as the world's main reserve currency. This unique position grants the US an exorbitant privilege, the ability to print more money in times of crisis or financial difficulties. Printing more dollars increases the global supply of the currency, causing its value to decline relative to other currencies. This devaluation prompts inflation in other countries as they must spend more of their own currency to purchase goods and services priced in dollars. As a result, countries worldwide need to closely monitor U.S. economic and monetary policies to avoid adverse effects on their economies. Some nations, such as India, express frustration with what they perceive as the U.S. holding them hostage through its monetary policies. Criticisms extend to the claim that the U.S. has been an irresponsible issuer of the world's reserve currencies. Given these factors, the rise of BRICS presents itself as an avenue for developing nations to break free from the entanglements of the US dollar. However, this shift away from the dollar is not an immediate transition. Rather, it is envisioned as a decade-long journey toward a multipolar world. In this prospective landscape, the dollar, euro, and renminbi could potentially emerge as dominant currencies in the Americas, Europe, and Asia, respectively. Do you believe BRICS has the potential to successfully challenge the supremacy of the US dollar? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, express your support by hitting the like button. For more engaging content like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel and stay updated on future videos.